All right, the last thing we have for our for this part is the volume of a rectangular prism. So a rectangular prism is like a tissue box or a container, a cereal box, things like that. Okay, those would be considered a rectangular prism. So I took our formula from our star chart, which is volume equals big B times H. So you'll notice this one has a capital B. In the formula, the big B means the area of our base. Okay, so it's the area of the base, not just finding the number of the base, the area. And then we have our H, which is still our height, just like it has been. Okay, do not use length times width times height like you would have used in 5th grade. Do not use that. Use this formula, big B times H. Okay, it will be important when you guys move on to 7th grade math because you guys will have shapes that aren't necessarily rectangular prisms. You'll have triangular prisms, you'll have cylinders, all kinds of stuff. So the big B is really important. Okay, so if we look at our first rectangular prism, I'm going to say that this bottom here is my base. So the two sides that I highlighted make up my base. So I'm going to use my formula that volume equals big B times H. My area of my base, my big B, is going to be base times height because it is a rectangle. Okay, so my base of my rectangle is 6. My height of my rectangle is 8. So 6 times 8 is 48. So my big B is equal to 48. And then the other piece of information I need to know is my height of my prism. So my height of my prism is right here. It's how tall it is. So it's 8. Okay, so now we can plug this into our formula. So our volume is equal to big B times H. We said our big B was 48 times our H was 8. So now all we have to do is multiply those together. So 48 times 8. Okay. 8 times 8 is 64. 4 times 8 is 32. Plus 6 is 38. So our volume is 384. We're going to say meters cubed this time. So it's a 3-dimensional figure, so we're going to say cubed instead of squared. Okay. All right, looking at our next one right here. I'm going to say that the bottom is my base again. So we have 2 meters here, and we have 2 meters here. The reason I can say that this one is also 2 is because if you look up here, it's saying that this side is 2. So I'm just bringing that down to the bottom and using that same information. So we're going to say volume is equal to big B times H. Our big B, we have a rectangle or a square this time. So base times height, which is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. And then our height is how tall our figure is, which is 12. Okay, so now we're going to put it in there. So volume is going to equal our big B was 4 times our height of 12. And 4 times 12 is 48. So it's 48 meters cubed for that one. Okay. All right, the next one down here, again, I'm going to say that the bottom is my base. So here and here, so we're going to say volume is equal to big B times H. Big B, my area of my base is a rectangle, so it's going to be base times height. So in this one, it's going to be 7 times 2.8. So 7 times 2.8. I'm going to have to do that one on the side. So 2.8 times 7. Seven times 8 is 56. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 5 is 19. We move our decimal 1. So it's 19.6 for big B. And then our h is how tall it is, which is 9.5. So now we're going to plug those into our formula. So our big B we said is 19.6 times our h, which is 9.5. So we're going to multiply those together. So 19.6 times 9.5. So 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 3 is 48. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. Add a 0. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 9 is 81, plus 5 is 86. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 8 is 17. Now we're going to add all this together. 0, 12, 16. And then we have to move our decimal 1, 2 places. So 1, 2. And we're going to get 186.20 inches cubed. All right, so you guys can pause the video real quick and try this last one on your own, and then come back and check your answer and see how you did. So I'll do this last purple one in the corner, and then come back and check your answer and see how you did on it, okay? All right, so if you did that problem, you would have gotten 630 centimeters cubed would be your answer for that last one. So hopefully you did good on that one. Go back into Schoology and check do your assignment for today. Have a good day.